camera or shotgun? The choice is yours. Join Sunny as she takes you hunting for wild boars. Scores of wild boars frenetically run through the dense forest. A true hunter's dream. And now we will show it to you. We will experience unforgettable hunting adventures. Crossing 4 continents in search of the world's finest hunting grounds, we will travel to Africa and Australia, where wild pigs roam free. We will stalk for trophy boars in Europe, and will take part in hunting batus in Asia. Share the thrill of the furious wild boar's encounter with the fearless dogs. Feel the excitement. Feel the danger. Share the adventure. Join the gathering of boars and hunters.
In today's episode, you will see the continuation of a very dynamic driven hunt for wild boars in the forests of Stara Planina. The hunting destination that is the favorite of thousands of Europeans is located in Bulgaria. Our team will show you the 2-day lady luck of 12 hunters that will be successful in striking down 32 pigs, including 5 golden medalists with large and massive trophy tusks. One day before the beginning of the driven hunt that is traditionally held in Bulgaria, the shooting team will try to show you the calm way of life of the forest wild inhabitants, and we will try to get closer to some of them. We will start with some not that wild animal species in order to get prepared and in synchrony with a calmness that reigns far from the cities and the noisy and hectic civilized world. At this place, several tens of kilometers from the ancient capital city of Bulgaria, the good managers that were assigned with the managing and preserving the game and the wildlife by the state have turned this place not only into heaven for the wild red deer, boars, and mouflons, but also a place where one can see extraordinary breeds of saddle horses for tournaments. For already 40 years, the people have been raising and protecting here against the encroachments of poachers the stable populations of wild boar, red deer, and mouflons. Thanks to their efforts, the animals are exhibiting sufficient population increase that allows the hunters to come here every year in order to enjoy the most ancient human activity, hunting. In the ancient centuries, the mankind survived thanks to hunting. People relied on eating and making it through thanks to the captured wild animals. Nowadays, wildlife survives at the locations that are designated for hunting thanks to the tradition that is still living, and the international hunting organizations that are the only reason for the local people, whoever and wherever they are, not to kill the last living game in their territory. The examples of this are numerous, from the local European hunting companies that kill every live creature moving around in the forest for little meat, to the wild African tribes that are prohibited to hunt and to get paid for hunting performed in their lands. We are very happy that hunting is paid at this place, and thanks to the reasonable management by our hosts each year, we have the chance to shoot many wildlife species and the hunting emotions of the true hunters. You can become assured of the peace at that place by yourselves because of the fact that our videograph managed to stalk and approach this red deer to less than 20 meters in order to take several unique photos at the background of the evening mist in the forest with the aid of the golden sun rays. In the next morning, Svetomir, the manager of the hunting reserve, inspects the equipment and instructs the hunters. Then everybody is ready to start off for the hunting region where Driven Hunt is to take place today. In the region of Stara Planina, there are many hunting territories, but some of them are preferred for arranging driven hunts because of the convenient relief and the numerous population of wild boars and every other game species. Last night I saw you in the movie. Take it easy while chasing the boars. This is the joke of one of the hunters that managed to see the good work of the drivers in the previous episode, Boars and Dogs. Zetso instructs post number 1 by himself, as it is assigned to a young hunter. The discipline and responsibility with which young hunters step up to the experienced hunters makes the whole group feel confident that the wild boars are to remain in the battue for long. In the previous episode, you already saw the precise shooter he is, and if he gets lucky, today the wild boars will make the fatal error of deciding to get through the row of hunters right at this post. At the same time, drivers begin their preparation for the passage through the crossed locality. They take out the impatient dogs that can smell the game. The joyful excitement of hunting is all over the dogs and the drivers. The forest inhabitants have been alerted by the dogs barking for the hunter's presence. In the next minutes, the last ambushes are occupied by the hunters, and the drive can begin. From the direction where dogs are supposed to arrive, a group of wild boars appears. The experienced hunter is ready to react with lightning-fast firing, but lets the boars to approach so that he can check them. It is not normal for them to be tuskers. They do not move in groups like this one. There will be no firing since the experienced hunter has distinguished the marks of the sows. Here and everywhere else in the hunting preserves, they are not being hunted down so that they could bear squeakers to maintain the population. Under the threat of dogs barking, one jackal uses the pathway that was checked by the boars before it and tries to run away from the driven hunt. Its speed is so high that the chances of an accurate shooting are almost equal to 0. Thus, the hunter prefers to remain unnoticed at this excellent position near the game pathway. From the same direction, one doe appears with a dancing step from the forest without noticing us for some time. After seeing us, she prudently moved away. After her, the approaching dog's barking shows us who is this unreconcilable hunter that caught the wrong track. We jokingly watch for some time the wild animal making large semicircles that crosses its own traces to confuse the dog, and succeeds. Finally, the dog got confused and goes in the opposite direction. The echo of the barking dogs approaches us, and the hunter gets prepared for action. Soon we spot the dogs among the trees, but where did the wild boars go? Most probably the large sounder sensed us because of the wind and went round us from the other side. We didn't get lucky this time. But wait, what is going on? The sounder has outsmarted the dogs and comes back. It is expected that wild boars have totally confused the dogs, and they come back along the traces of the sows, along the tried and tested safe game pathway. Since the beginning of the driven hunt at this place, it has been very boring at the first post, but soon this is to be changed and the shotgun will be used again. The wild boars got moving because of the firing you witnessed some time ago and are moving towards the driven hunt, and now they will try to pass by the first post, then they will be safe away from the barrels of the hunters in the ambush. The pack was noticed by the hunter and cannot pass by it just like that. The sow that is herd's leader prefers hiding in the valley and get back facing dogs that were outsmarted by her for so many times. It seems that she prefers them to the flying lethal lead coming from the hunters. The firing sound from the medium ambushes shows that the boars came back in the drive, and now it is highly probable for them to come back and try their luck of making a breakthrough at this place. At first glance, the chaotic movement of the pack is actually a systematic research of the possible gaps in the ring made of hunters, drivers, and dogs. Nevertheless, every time they face here one and the same lethal barrel taking down one pig after another without a miss. After shooting down 2 offsprings, all other wild boars got back in the driven hunt, and the chances of the other hunters to produce a firing increased dramatically. Once again, we are at the first post, and watch one of the dogs examining the trail from the boars that recently passed by. The dog follows the movement of the wild boars with great precision, but it saws and deviated from the trail. The four-legged hunter comes to check why we did not produce a shot, and after peeing on a hunter's jacket, for luck disappears inside the forest. It is not long before the wild boars appear, a whole pack of at least 30 animals moving straight towards us. There are only 2 bullets in the shotgun, but they are enough for the good shooter to take 2 pigs down. The sounder passes in few seconds, and there is no time for reloading the rifle with shells. Only the 2-shot boars are to be seen among the trees. The long-distance hit took the 3rd pig down. The result is 3 perfect shots and 3 lethal hits. The driven hunt comes to its end with this result, and there comes a time to change the location of driving the game. The next destination is known only by the hunting leader, and he is the one to distribute the hunters at their posts so that nobody starts sulking. There were several large sounders. We saw a huge one at our place. Among the blackberries, the driven hunt is still to reach its climax, and the hunters are waiting for the appearance of the wild boars with great anxiety because of the thick blackberry layer that will make their task almost impossible. Frightened by the first shots, the entire sounder that was hiding at 5 meters from us disappears, and only leaves rustling shows us they were there. At 5 meters away from us, they have been hiding for at least 20 minutes. The hunter is still influenced by the surprise of his close encounter with the hidden boars and decides to check the nearby thick bushes. The stones thrown by him do not bring about the desired result. He can hear a slight rustling, but the boars hiding in the bushes do not show up. He makes second and third attempts, but in vain. Adult boars are professors in the area of covering up and could be driven away from their hiding places only in direct contact with a dog or close firing. Around 30. We prove right, and in the blackberry bushes, a whole pack of pigs has been hiding until now. But their escape straight to the drivers gets the whole pack unscratched in the forest at more than 150 meters away from the hunters under the cover of the thick shrubs. As the dogs and drivers approach, the tension increases because we are sure that in the gorge below us there are still several boars. Maybe the largest tuskers are still here. Soon, we are about to find out. We can see the first dogs approaching. They lift it up. The hunter whispers and frenetically seeks for the silhouettes in his optics. After the incredible shot from around 190 meters, even as the camera approaches, it is hard to follow the wounded boar. Fortunately, the drivers are equipped with portable camera. It has been hit. What a shot, huh?
Evo, bacio sam na kefke, baš si istrela. Baš si istrela.
Bati, gled kako je naprej.
The dogs hurriedly surround the tusker and block his retreat towards the blackberries. One of the drivers shoots with a pistol straight in his head to put an end to the dangerous battle in which the dogs could get seriously hurt. Nevertheless, it proves that this fire point blank could not stop the armored body. The battle between the wounded animal that tries to hide in the shrubs and the dogs continues, and the driver has to shoot the tusker once again. In seconds, everything is over, and the dogs and the drivers get back to the impassable blackberry bushes where more boars could be hiding.
Честито. Това беше много хубаво.
Още малко по-напред.
Here it is.
Daj, bej!
While running, the hunter managed to hit one of the boars and found it in the roots of a tree. This was the end of the driven hunt in this hunting region for the season, and now the hunters are about to gather in order to exchange their impressions and emotions from this hunting day full of action. Did they bring it along? Yes! We could see from a close distance the trophy merits of the wild boar that was shot while running amid the trees from a 190-meter distance, a feat that few hunters could boast with.
Първо минаха 4 прасеца долу ниско.
This was the last driven hunt for the season. We are looking forward to welcoming you in Bulgaria in the next autumn. If you are lucky to get together with our team, you stand the chance of becoming a part of unforgettable hunting action like this one.